Your dog runs to you every single day, tail wagging, eyes wide, like you're the most important thing in the world. But what if that's not love? What if your dog has simply learned that you are survival? In this video, we're going to break down exactly what's happening inside your dog's brain when they look at you. Because the answer, backed by real science, is going to change how you see your dog forever. Here's what most owners never find out. There are specific behaviors your dog shows every single day that clearly separate love from dependency. And most people misread them completely. What does it mean when your dog follows you to the bathroom? When they ignore other people but choose you? When they stare at you for no reason at all? The answers are not what you think. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at your dog the same way again. Let's start with science. In 2015, a Japanese researcher named Dr. Takefumi Kikusui ran a study. He measured oxytocin levels. That's the bonding hormone, the same chemical release between a mother and her newborn, in both dogs and their owners. What happened? After just a few minutes of eye contact between dogs and their humans, oxytocin spiked in both of them, not just in the human, in the dog too. This was groundbreaking, because wolves, the ancestors of dogs, don't do this with humans. Only domesticated dogs evolved this ability. Over 15,000 years of living beside humans, dogs literally rewired their own brains to bond with us the way we bond with each other. But here's the part that surprises people. Oxytocin is also released when a dog feels safe and fed. It's a survival chemical too, not just a love chemical. So the question becomes more complex. Is your dog releasing oxytocin because they love you or because you represent safety and food? That's exactly what researchers try to find out next. And what they discovered completely changed our understanding of dog psychology. 1. The food test. Here's an experiment that tells you everything. Researchers placed dogs in a room with two strangers. One stranger fed the dog. The other did nothing, just sat quietly. After a few minutes, most dogs stayed near the feeder. Makes sense, right? Food equals attachment. But then they brought in the dog's actual owner. The dog didn't hesitate. It left the food giver and went straight to the owner. No food, no treats, no commands, just presence. That's not dependency. That's preference. And preference, in dog psychology, is one of the purest forms of emotional attachment. Your dog doesn't just need you. They choose you, even when something better is on the table. But here's where it gets even more interesting. 2. The separation signal. You've probably seen this. You pick up your keys. Your dog's ears go up. Their body tenses. Most owners think, oh, they just don't want to be alone. But that's only half the truth. Studies show that dogs who are purely dependent, like dogs raised in kennels with little human bonding, show high anxiety when left alone. But they recover quickly when anyone returns. Dogs who have formed a genuine emotional bond, they're calmer overall. But when their specific person leaves and returns, their cortisol drops faster. Their heart rate normalizes faster. The science says their nervous system is specifically regulated by you, not just any human. You. That's not an animal that needs a food source. That's an animal whose entire emotional system is anchored to one person. Think about that for a second. But this is where most owners unknowingly miss something important. 3. The gaze that speaks. Have you ever caught your dog just staring at you? Not asking for food, not waiting for a walk, just watching you quietly from across the room. This is called referential gazing, and it's extraordinarily rare in the animal kingdom. Dogs do this instinctively. Wolves don't. Cats don't. Even primates rarely do it the way dogs do. When a dog stares at you, especially in a calm, soft-eyed way, they're not waiting for something. They're communicating. They're checking in. They're saying, in dog language, you are my world, and I want to make sure you're still here. Researchers call this a secure base effect. It's the same psychological pattern seen in human infants with their mothers. Your dog looks at you the way a child looks at a parent when they feel completely, unconditionally safe. That's not dependency. That's trust. Deep, wired-in, emotional trust. And what happens next? Most owners have seen but never understood. 4. The lean and the curl. Notice how your dog presses their body against your legs sometimes, or curls up touching your feet when they sleep. This physical contact, subtle, quiet, is one of the most honest signals a dog gives. A dependent dog seeks contact when scared or hungry. They use touch as a tool. But a bonded dog? They seek contact when everything is fine, when there's no reason to be anxious, when food is full and the house is quiet. They just want to be near you. That's not need. That's love in its simplest, most honest form. Here's the truth that science keeps confirming. Your dog is not just an animal that tolerates your presence because you fill their bowl. They are a living being who has spent thousands of years evolving one single skill above all others: the ability to love a human. They read your face. They feel your stress. They celebrate your return like nothing else in the world matters. When your dog chooses you, over strangers, over food, over comfort, that choice is real. The love your dog has for you isn't simple. It isn't just instinct. It is a bond built quietly every single day in 1,000 small moments you probably didn't even notice. Now that you do, those moments will never feel ordinary again. Next time your dog just sits near you for no reason, or rests their chin on your knee, or follows you from room to room, don't just smile and move on. Understand what they're actually saying, because they've been saying it every single day. You're just now learning how to listen.